Hi YouTubers, it's still Sexy Butch here. Today I'd like to do a video in response to a video by MainelyButch that she put out a couple of years ago. It's titled Butch Stud Emotional Deficit Disorder? She put it out in 2010. This issue has come up for me repeatedly, and the last time it came up for me was yesterday. My partner Maggie and I got into a big hassle, a big fight over something that was, to me, I didn't understand. But anyway, rather than go into detail about it, the basic thing is that she thought that I wasn't showing any interest in what she was doing. She's accused me before of not listening to her, of just, or pretending to listen to her, pretending to be interested. I've been accused of both, not listening and pretending to listen. But this thing of not reacting to her is the real crux of the matter. Not showing, with body language or with my facial expressions, my eyes or anything. She said that a lot of times when she talks to me that I just give her this look like I'm just, just looking at her, but I'm not there, like I'm somewhere else. And I have done that before, I admit that. But after you've been together for 17 years, I think, sometimes, I think most couples, that can happen, And she's done it to me, she's zoned me out before. But most of the time I do try really hard to listen to her and pay attention to what she says. As far as me not emotionally reacting, I don't know, that's here's the thing that's really ironic to me in this whole situation. When I was growing up, I was a very emotional kid. I was very easily hurt. I wore my heart on my sleeve, so to speak. And when I was in the Army, I was getting picked on in the Army too. Well, a lot of the time I was getting picked on growing up was because I had a weight problem, and I still do. But, I was always the fat kid, and I changed schools several times growing up, and, being the new kid and being the fat kid, And I was very, very, very sensitive and very emotional. So, this girl in the Army told me, she said, you know what your problem is? She said, you set yourself up for people to hurt you, You set yourself up, and I was like, that hadn't occurred to me before. It's like, yeah, she's right, I do set myself up, When I got to thinking about it, it made perfect sense to me. And so from that time on, I stopped setting myself up, and the older I got, the less I really cared about what people said or about me or to me, or what they thought of me, or, their prejudicial and stupid comments would just roll off of me because I just stopped caring. And so I developed a kind of, I guess it's a defense mechanism, but I think it's partly that, and I think it's partly just getting older, As I get older, I really do care less and less about what other people say about me or to me or think of me, It's just like, I am who I am, I'm almost 58 years old. Why the hell should I care what you think, I'm myself. It took me all these years to become myself, and to be comfortable with myself, and I just don't care anymore. But I think part of my going from one extreme of being really, really emotional and very vulnerable and wearing my heart on my sleeve to the other extreme of hardly showing any emotion at all. I think part of that comes from my experiences growing up and not wanting to set myself up to be hurt. And I think part of it stems from the medications I'm on. I take a blood pressure medicine every day. I take an antidepressant every day. I have hydrocodone, which is, codeine, and I take that for my back pain. I have cyclobenzaprine, which is for muscle spasms, which I get a lot in my back. I have really serious back trouble. And I think it's partly the drugs, and I think it's also partly that since I had my total hysterectomy in 2008 because of ovarian and uterine cancers, they removed everything pretty much. Everything but, the vagina is still there obviously, but everything else is out. And I've noticed really that since then I have become emotionally blunted. It's like, I think it's kind of like being a female eunuch, It's like a woman's ovaries are like a man's testicles, and if you cut off a guy's balls, well, it's almost like having a frontal lobotomy, and it's the same thing for a woman. A woman's ovaries are like, her female gonads, so to speak. And when you take those out, I guess that's the result of it, is that, you stop having periods and all that kind of stuff. In my case, it wasn't something it was not a choice. They had to come out because that's, I had a massive tumor growing there on one of my ovaries. They couldn't tell which one. But ever since then, I have been kind of a lot less emotional, a lot less expressive. And I can understand where Maggie is, coming from as far as that goes. But I can't help it. It's just the way I've become, I think, like I said, I think it's partly the result of the surgery and partly the result of past experiences of wearing my heart on my sleeve growing up and always being hurt and always being targeted. And I've just come to the point now where, I'm just past being emotional. I'm past being vulnerable. And I don't want to come off as being uncaring or disinterested. At this point, I just can't help it. It's just how I am now. And I've thought about, and I'm planning on looking into getting testosterone replacement. I can't have estrogen therapy because the cancers that I had are estrogen sensitive, and so I can't have estrogen or progesterone. I can't have any soy products because soy contains phytoestrogens, so I can't even have soy, which means I guess I'll never be a vegan. But so the only thing left to me is, seeing if maybe some testosterone will help me to get revived a little bit. And I guess it's not really that uncommon. I've been, doing a lot of reading about this, and I guess it's not uncommon for postmenopausal females like myself to get estrogen therapy, or testosterone therapy. It does seem to be pretty normal. So anyway, I'm going to check into that. I also haven't had any libido since my surgery, which has been very disappointing and very upsetting to me. And I would like to be able to make love with my partner again, and I would like to be able to, there are people in their 80s, even 90s I've heard of, who are still sexually active, So I know it's got to be a hormonal thing. It's just got to be that I'm just in a situation, like I said, I can't have estrogen, so the only thing really left to me is testosterone, which hopefully will help. And maybe if I can get on that, maybe I can at least get off of the antidepressant and start exercising and losing some weight and feeling better about myself and feeling better about my life. Start feeling alive again. Since 2008, since my surgery, I haven't felt really alive. I've just felt like I've just been existing, just here, It's like most things are neither bad nor good, they just are. That's just how I feel. So, stop it. Stupid dog. So, anyway, that's it in a nutshell, and I don't want to keep going on too much more about this, but I do feel badly that Maggie sees it that way, and I'm going to ask her to watch this video so that hopefully she'll understand it a little bit better. But I just can't help being the way I am, now. And like I said, I can maybe take testosterone that'll help me, feel a little bit more alive and have a little bit more energy and vitality and vigor. But emotionally, I don't know, I think I'm just tired of being emotional, because I was so emotional when I was younger, and all it ever did was upset me and, cause me to, always have an upset stomach and go through all the stuff that churning emotions cause you to go through physically. I just don't want to do it anymore. And I'm really pretty happy being the way I am now, All that drama, all that emotion is just in my past, and, I've really mellowed out and I'm happy with it. And I thought Maggie would be happy with it too, but apparently I've mellowed out too much. So, there it is, and I would love to hear anybody's comments about this, because I think there's got to be a lot of other, butches out there who have gone through similar things that, I know that I read some of the comments on when MainelyButch posted about this. I read the comments on it, and this seems to be pretty common among butches. But, as far as the emotional deficit disorder thing. But like I said, there's a number of reasons why I've come to this point, and I'm really not totally unhappy with it. Like I said, I would like to have my libido back, and I would like to have more energy and more zest for life, but outside of that, I don't want the emotionalism back. I don't want to wear my heart on my sleeve anymore. It's just too hard. It's too draining. So, really, leave your responses to this, leave your comments, because I'd really like to know what you guys think about this. And in the meantime, this is still Sexy Butch, and I'll talk to y'all later. Thanks for watching, and to those who subscribe to me, Thanks for subscribing. Talk to you later. Bye.